Well, the main Olympics are over, and I find myself once more in my locker room. But now I'm here to think about the motivation, the persistence, the drive, all those great things that are going to come for us out of the Paralympic Games. I was feeling a bit sorry for myself the other day, and I sat up, turned on the dial, the Olympic dial, Paralympic dial, and watched the murder ball, the rugby, the Steelers, our Steelers. And it was captained by a bloke called Riley Batt. Now, I hadn't heard much about Riley Batt before, and I never even Googled him or looked it up. So I Googled him, and I find out he's the current captain of the Australian Paralympic team, joint captain with Danny Di Toro, the table tennis player. And I want to find out a little bit more about this guy because I'm watching him here on Murderball, so I delved further into the situation, because this was Riley Batt's 5th Olympic Games, and he gets handed the captaincy from the great Kurt Fearnley, who'd won numerous Olympic gold medals and is an inspiration to our nation. So he's carried the flag, he's the captain. Now he's captain of the Steelers. I find out now he's gone to 5 Olympic Games. Can you imagine it? Going to 5 Olympic Games as a competitor. The first one as a 15-year-old. Now let's delve a little bit more into his life story, into this kid's life story. Because sometimes we feel we're in a down spot. We feel the world doesn't love us. We're stressed, we're in lockdown, whatever. Well, think about it. This kid was born no legs. No legs. His fingers were webbed and he had to have an operation to open up the fingers so he could catch balls and do all the little things that we take for granted. All those dexterous things. His parents got him a skateboard so he could get around, and he lay on the skateboard and used to go around on the skateboard all the time. So it was building the strength in his arms, back, pectoral muscles, getting stronger all the time. At 4 years of age, it was his birthday. And his father came into the room and found him hiding under the doona covers. "Riley, what's wrong?" The kid answered, "I wished for legs for my birthday present, but they haven't come." And his father said, "Give yourself a good uppercut and make the best out of life. Make the best out of what you've done." So his father then started to institute a little bit of tough love, like taking the kid down to the beach for a swim, but not carrying him right down to the water's edge. Carrying him down to the soft sand. So if he wanted to have a swim, he would have to crawl down into the water. And people would look by and think, this is dreadful what this man's doing to the kid. But it's made Riley Batt the tough man that he is today, the captain of the Steelers. So something special happened when he was 12 years of age. Up until that time, he refused to get into a wheelchair. He wanted to be normal. He wanted to be like everyone else. And as a result, he would get around on his skateboard. That's all he did. He wouldn't jump into a wheelchair. But at 12 years of age, a Paralympian came to the school and decided to get wheelchair basketball going. Riley Batt jumped into a wheelchair for the very first time. He found, in the past, he'd wanted to play normal sports. So he'd play soccer, but with no legs, it's a little bit difficult. So normally he'd play in goal and he'd have to roll to stop the ball. But he wasn't that successful. But at least he was playing with the other kids. This Paralympian came and introduced wheelchair basketball to the whole school. Riley, at 12 years of age, decided that he'd do it. He jumped into the chair and found, because of his upper body strength, he was so much better than all the other kids in manoeuvring the wheelchair. 12. 3 years later, he's in the Steelers team, the wheelchair rugby team, and he's gone to Athens. Athens! At 19, he gets the silver medal in Beijing. And then it's on to London, gold, on to Rio, gold. Our Steelers now are going for 3 consecutive golds. I'm looking at the TV, bingo. We get beaten by Denmark. Not much in it at 54-53, but now we're on the back foot because we've got to keep winning to go through to the medal rounds. And we're in trouble. Now we've got to play the French. This was a cracker of a game. They had a superstar called Jonathan Hyvenat. It was a brutal game. But it was a game that was significant for a number of reasons. One, Shay Graham became the first female member ever of the Steelers rugby wheelchair. First ever female murder ball. So it was significant for that. But now we're against Jonathan Hyvenat, the French superstar, the great tactician of this game, where you have scorers and you have people who are just blockers, like pawns. It was seesawed backwards and forwards, and finally we won 48-50. 50-48. We won. It's got me hooked. Now we've got to play Japan to go on to look for the gold medal. But how are you going? What are you thinking about yourself? Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, I'm giving you a tip. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, go on and have a look at our Paralympians. Have a look at the murder ball, our wheelchair rugby. Have a look at Riley Batt. Read his story and see how he's overcome adversity with persistence, drive, dedication. Not feeling sorry for himself, but getting out there. I think we in this world sometimes get carried away with ourselves and start to push ourselves down. No good. Life throws us lemons. We have to make lemonade. I'm going to really enjoy the rest of this and hopefully see Australia get 3 consecutive Olympic golds with Riley Batt, our captain, our inspiration. Use these people to get yourself up early in the morning, because win the morning, win the day. Get up and get motivated.